My husband's friend sat on his lap at every single gathering, and he called me insecure when I complained. So I sat on other men's laps at his work event. My husband Nick's friend Kayla sat on his lap at every single gathering like it was her assigned seat, and he never told her to stop. She'd walk into parties, scan the room for Nick, and plop herself directly onto his lap, even when there were empty chairs everywhere. She'd stay there for hours, wiggling around to get comfortable while I sat across the room watching my husband let another woman treat him like furniture. When I first confronted Nick about it, he said Kayla was just affectionate and it meant nothing. He said they'd been friends since high school, and she sat on everyone's lap, which was a complete lie because I'd never seen her sit on any other man. He told me I was being insecure and possessive over innocent friendly behavior. He actually said I should be happy he had such close friendships, instead of trying to control who he spent time with. At his birthday party in January, Kayla arrived wearing a tiny dress and made a beeline for Nick's lap, even though I was sitting right next to him. She threw her arms around his neck and stayed there while he opened presents, including the watch I'd saved for months to buy him. She actually helped him open it, her hands over his, while sitting on his lap in front of 40 guests. People were whispering and giving me pitying looks, but Nick just laughed and said Kayla was being helpful. Our friend Tom's wife pulled me aside and said she couldn't believe I allowed that in my own home. The worst part was at my sister's wedding in February, when Kayla wasn't even invited, but Nick brought her as his +1 instead of me, his wife. He said I was already going as family so he could bring a friend. Kayla wore white to the wedding and spent the reception on Nick's lap while I sat at the family table alone. My sister was furious but didn't want to cause drama at her wedding. When slow songs played, Kayla would wrap Nick's arms around her waist while still sitting on him, swaying to the music like they were the couple. By March, I'd had enough and told Nick either Kayla stopped sitting on him or I was leaving. He said I was giving him an ultimatum over sitting, and that was crazy. He said Kayla had anxiety and sitting on familiar people made her feel safe. I asked if her therapist recommended lap sitting as treatment, and he said I was being sarcastic about mental health. He refused to tell Kayla to stop because it would hurt her feelings and damage their friendship. That's when I decided to show them both how inappropriate their behavior was. At the next gathering, Tom's birthday party, I walked straight to Tom and sat on his lap. Nick jumped up so fast that Kayla fell on the floor. He demanded to know what I was doing, and I said Tom was my friend, and this was how friends sat at parties apparently. I stayed on Tom's lap while his wife Lisa laughed and said it was about time someone gave Nick a taste of his own medicine. Nick was red-faced and told me to get up immediately because I was embarrassing him. I said he'd told me lap sitting meant nothing, so why was he upset? Kayla tried to climb back onto Nick, but he was too focused on me to notice her. She stood there looking lost without her human chair. I moved from Tom to my brother-in-law who was happy to play along, then to Nick's brother who thought it was hilarious. Each time Nick got angrier while I reminded him this was just friendly behavior that meant nothing. Kayla tried to complain that I was mocking their friendship, but everyone pointed out she'd been disrespecting a marriage for months. Nick was mortified and finally told Kayla she couldn't sit on him anymore. She actually cried and said he was choosing his jealous wife over their special bond. She said their friendship was ruined if she couldn't be physically close to him. Nick realized then that it had never been innocent, and Kayla had been marking territory the whole time. She stopped coming to gatherings after that because without Nick's lap to sit on, she had no reason to be there. Nick apologized for not seeing how disrespectful it had been, but our marriage was already damaged. He learned that when you let another woman claim you as a chair, your wife might start furniture shopping elsewhere.